I am counting every blessing, counting every blessing, letting go and trusting when I cannot see. I am counting every blessing, counting every blessing, surely every season.
Welcome to the ND 500 podcast. Today's message is to use what God has given you. Today is the start of a new week. Yet on today, you still may find yourself facing old problems, bills that you don't have enough money to pay for, the promotion that you wanted, the promotion that you didn't get, the prayers that you've been praying that hadn't manifested in your life yet. As human beings, it's easy for us to look at the things that we don't have, the things that we lack. But on today, I just want to encourage you to look at the things that God has already placed in your hand. If you remember the story of when God called Moses to lead the people of Israel from bondage, Moses gave God all the excuses in the world on why he wasn't the person to do it, because he stuttered, because he didn't have this, because he didn't have that. But God told Moses, you have everything in your hand. And if you remember, when the nation of Israel was at the banks, they were at the Red Sea, it looked like the Egyptians were gaining on them. It looked like that they had them cornered. But Moses used what God had already given him. Moses used the staff that was in his hand to stand up and call on the name of the Lord to split the Red Sea. Yes, Moses used what was in his hand. So on today, I just want to encourage you to use what God has already given you. And remember, Matthew chapter 25, verse 21, it says that you are faithful over a few. Now I'll make you ruler over many. I remember about 2.5 years ago, for me as a writer, usually towards the end of the year, sometimes between the months of November through the end of December, is always slow for me because I'm a writer and usually most businesses kind of shut down. So I usually don't have a lot of work that's going on. So I remember about 2 years ago, I really didn't have anything going on at that time. And I was just Googling something on Google, and I saw that there was a small position that was open at Lone Star College. And I said, I don't have anything to do. I just, send in my information, and I sent it in, and I had actually forgotten that I actually sent it in. Probably about 2 months it went by, and they called and they just said they needed me to come over to help and write a few things in the communications department. So mind you that I hadn't worked for a company because I've been self-employed for over 14 years. So I hadn't worked at an actual company in a long time. So I really didn't know what to expect. So I went over there, and they weren't paying much either. So I went over there. I really didn't know what to expect. So when I got there, I started off just writing little press releases, something that I can pretty much do in my sleep. It didn't take me much time to do them. They were easy, a small task. And before I knew it, I think it was about 3 months. I was going there for maybe 15 hours a week. And I ended up writing a speech for the college president at Lone Star College for the graduation and commencement services. And after that, it was like the green light just came on. It got to the point to where the president of the college, I didn't even have to get her approval on statements that she would make. So I could just write in her approvals as if she actually said them. So I didn't even have to ask her what to do. So I could actually put it in print and respond to different things, different queries. I said all that to let you know that was a small task. And just this past weekend, I completed certification to become an adjunct professor there. So I have never thought in my wildest dreams that I would ever be teaching on the college level. But it all started with something small, something that God had placed in my hand. It was a small task, but I took what God had given me, and it opened up to something that I had never imagined would ever happen in my life. So on August the 28th, I'll start teaching my first class on the college level. So I just wanted to share that little testimony with you. So whatever it is that you're going through on today, whatever it is that you prayed for, if it hadn't manifested, just keep going. Just as we said on Saturday's message, just keep pushing, and look at what God has already placed in your hand. And once you do that, just work that small thing, and eventually that small thing will turn into something much more, and perhaps something that you never thought you would ever do, and something that you wasn't looking for. And if you have any questions, please feel free to send me an email at podcast@ndcode.com. Please feel free to visit my website at www.ndcode.com. Until next time, live in truth.